Hi parents, my name is Jen Corbin and I will be teaching 6th grade math to your student this year. I wanted to welcome everybody. I'm very excited about this year. This is my second year teaching with Veritas. Last year I taught pre-algebra and I absolutely loved it and was so grateful for that opportunity. And this year I've been able to add 6th grade math in addition to pre-algebra. Just to give you a little background on myself, I have a degree in accounting. I'm a math nerd. I love math. Um, I have 4 kids. 3 of them are at Veritas in 5th grade, 7th grade, and 10th grade. And then I have a child who has been at Veritas since 6th grade, since the very first year that the Veritas opened in Chattanooga. And she this year is dual enrolling at Chattanooga State. So she won't be at Veritas this year, which I'm sad about, but she's been very well prepared for what's next. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to cover a few things. So attached to the email that I sent you, you should have a file called the 6th grade math syllabus. It has the 6th grade math syllabus and the policies for homework. So I wanted to quickly, I'm not going to read it to you because I know that you're more than capable of doing that yourself. Just to highlight a couple of things, at the bottom of the first page is a section about Google Classroom. I've already set up Google Classroom, and you should have already joined it, hopefully. This Google Classroom is going to be important for a couple of reasons this year. Number one, and you'll see this italicized in that paragraph, assignments, if we have to go online at some point, if we have to go to virtual learning at some point, assignments all across Veritas are going to be turned in via Google Classroom. And I will not accept assignments that are turned in via email. That gets very tricky for teachers to have, a ton of emails coming in from a ton of different students to sift through and sort through. It's also confusing for parents if sometimes you have to turn in things through email and some things have to be turned in through Google Classroom. So we decided as a school that everything would go through Google Classroom this year. So I'm not going to accept anything that comes in email. If your child submits something to me via email, I will send them back a very nice reply telling them that I will not accept this work and it needs to come through Google Classroom, and then they can resubmit it that way. Let me know if you have any issues joining Google Classroom. Also, on the next page on the back, you'll see a section about math help, and I'm going to be offering either a pre-recorded video or a live Zoom session on Fridays based on the questions that are submitted to me during the week. So this is another way that we're going to utilize Google Classroom. I would like for your child, if they have a question that they run into during the week after class on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I would like for them to post it in Google Classroom. And that way everybody can kind of see, okay, I'm not the only one who's having trouble with this particular topic. And then based on how many questions, if we had a lot of questions and a lot of people who are struggling, then we'll do a live session on Friday via Zoom. If there's only been a couple of questions and most people seem to be doing fine with a particular topic, then all we'll do is I'll pre-record some answers to those particular questions that were asked, and I'll send it out to everybody so everybody will still get to see it. The next paragraph is about instructor contact, and I do highly encourage communication throughout the week. I do set aside a little bit of time at the beginning of each class to go over questions, but it's limited because we have so much. We're only together one day, so we have so much to cover during that one day that it's really important that if your child is struggling with a concept or has questions over a particular problem during the week and nobody at home is able to help with that, then it's really important that they contact me either via email, and for some reason they don't feel comfortable posting it in Google Classroom, or they're having so much trouble that they feel like we may need a little bit more than the Zoom on Friday or more than a video that I might send out, then they need to email me and let me know so we can work that out together. Okay, you also should have a page called Homework Guidelines. And again, I'm not going to read this to you. It's pretty self-explanatory. But if I do want to highlight number 4, so you will have all the answers, access to all the answers on the portal. And I want the answers checked in red ink, and I want them corrected. So what I've run into a lot in the past is questions will be marked wrong, and then they'll just write the correct answer. That's not what I'm looking for, and I am going to take off points on your homework if that's what you turn into me. What I'm looking for is that you redid the problem right beside the one that you got wrong. You redid the problem, figured out where you went wrong, and showed me how it should have been done, that you showed me the correct way to do it. And then, of course, if you have problems and you can't figure out the correct way to do it, that's when you need to contact me or post it in Google Classroom so we can go over that on Friday. And I think parents have asked me before if I would like for them to check the homework or if the student can check the homework. My preference would be that the parent check the homework, but I know, because I have 4 children, that that is not always possible. So it's okay if a student needs to check their homework. However, I would like for mom or dad to look over that at some point during the week and see how many they missed. This is just a way of you keeping them accountable and you kind of being aware of, oh my, on Wednesday, little Susie missed 20 problems out of 30. Okay, did you contact your teacher? Did you let her know you were having problems, Susie? So parents need to, at the very least, be aware of what's happening and how many problems your child is getting correct or incorrect, just so you can identify if there's a problem early, because as you know, math just builds. So if we miss a concept early, that's just going to make it more difficult the following week in most cases. The other thing about homework is, it really does need to be done on the day that it's assigned. I do have the assignment sheets laid out to where there's work on Thursdays, and I know that that's not always ideal, especially if your child comes to Veritas for Humanities on Thursday. So if you need to tweak that, of course, that's fine. If you need to do half of Thursday's assignment on Wednesday and half of it on Friday, or your child does some of the work over the weekend, that's totally fine. But it's important for them not to sit down and do all of this at once. Also important for the work not to all be checked at once. The work needs to be checked right after it's finished and then corrected right after it's finished. I've definitely had students before who I could tell that the work was all being checked on Monday night before Tuesday morning. And then that poor child, who knows how late that child stayed up working on correcting homework. That's just not the best way to go about it. I know it can be a pain, but it really is ideal to check it the day that the work is done. The final thing that I have included in this email is a list of classroom expectations that I'd love it if you would go over with your child. They're pretty self-explanatory. We will go over all this on Tuesday when we get together on the 18th for class for the first time. We'll cover everything. I'll cover it with your children. But I did want to also, just as a reminder, I sent this in the information about the summer assignment, but it really is important to sign and return the second page of the class syllabus, saying that you and your child both have read the class policies and the homework guidelines and that you agree to adhere to them. I am going to be taking this for a grade, so it's important to send that back with your child on the first day. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime with questions. I'm here to help. I'm happy to help. I will do whatever I can to make your child successful, and I know we're going to have a great year.